All right, 173,519 miles on the speedometer. It's 78 degrees Fahrenheit. And today is April 3rd, or April 3, 2023. And you guessed it, there's the one and only Linda Spivey, my wife. I am Cole Spivey, the husband. Today we're going to talk about what happens when you have an injury at work. So Linda cut her thumb and had to get 7 stitches in her thumb at a place called Subway. It's a sandwich shop that you're very familiar. There's the highway, and we're going to talk. So when you have an injury at work, you want to fill out a workman's comp online. So go online if you can, if you're able to, and fill out a workman's comp application online and send it through. You'll need an emergency room report, which Linda has, and you'll need an incident report. And that's where we're going right now. We're going back to Subway so Linda can fill out her incident report for the accident that she had with the paring knife at Subway. She'll fill that out, and then today she's going on the workman's comp, and she's going to apply for workman's comp using the incident report and using the emergency room report, because she has paperwork that she was at the emergency room right when it happened. Also, just to let you know, we do have a vlog of the incident. We vlogged it a few days ago, about 4 or 5 days ago is when it happened. I think it's the 5th day that it's happened. So we were taking account of all of these things, and we're going to send them through. Right, Linda?
Yes.
Okay. Now give me a kissy. When I am king, you will be fast against the wall. Not first. You'll be fast against the wall. When I'm king, you will be fast against the wall. That means you'll be put against the wall very quickly. When I'm king. Now I'm just quoting Paranoid Android from Radiohead. When I am king, you will be fast against the wall. I think he says first. When I am king, you will be first against the wall. For some reason I thought he said, when I am king, you will be forced against the wall. When I am king, you will be forced against the wall. I've heard it different ways, but I think he says first against the wall. I'll have to look up the lyrics on Radiohead. Tom York wrote it from Radiohead. Anyway. Okay, how long did they say? They said it's like a mixture. Pretty good, decent price. You get a pound of it. Chicory. So we did fill out the accident report, and that was filled out at Subway. So we have that, and you have a copy of it, right?
No, they can't make a copy. I took a picture on my phone there.
You took a picture on the phone. Okay, good. Do they allow you to do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I asked them.
All right, so let's finish up. Almost good to go. When I am king, you will be first. Against the wall. No, it's a joke. It's a Radiohead song. Kind of a mean song a little bit, too. She's filling out an extra report about someone sharpening a knife. I don't know. All right, so we filled out an additional part of the incident report about the knife, and I guess the knife being too sharp. I have heard that before working, about knives being too sharp. I have heard that before. So in an incident like this, I don't think it's, I think it is probably relevant because it can be too sharp. So it is just regular spaghetti. That's best. Just do the regular spaghetti. Okay, sweetheart. Just the regular spaghetti.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. So 4 cheese. Right, the owner was really nervous. It's taken a long time with tons of paperwork. Or the guy, he doesn't own Subway, but so he got kind of upset and made a threat. So it looks like Linda's gonna have to move on from that one. No more Subway for her. It happened at a Subway off of Benbrook in Benbrook, Texas. It's the only Subway inside the Walmart. And she's going to talk about the knives. Go ahead and talk about the knives. You don't want to talk about what happened with the knife? Yeah, 7 stitches is what Linda got.
Do not do the location.
Because, yes, we need to now. Because this is going to be reported and you're not returning back there because he threatened us. And so the manager, who is transgender, I guess, threatened us. He basically threatened us. And I'm the only reason did you get his name? He's the brother of Christian. His brother's name is Christian, and he threatened us, and he made a threat against us. So the slicing of the thumb was not enough for him. And so something happened to her thumb. I didn't see it, so I don't know exactly how it happened. But she filled out the incident report, and that'll be going to Subway Corporate. And it happened to Linda's thumb. Linda Spivey is her name. Linda Gray Spivey is her name, and she's my wife. Subway owner. So that's exactly what happened. And then he threatened us afterwards and was very mean. He threatened me personally. And I'm going to say this, I'm going to go out and say it. He threatened bodily harm against me right there in Subway because of what he said. Possible bodily harm is what he threatened me with. You will not take it by force. Yes, the owner of that name, or the owner of Subway at Benbrook, his name is Dakota. He threatened bodily harm against me and threatened my wife. And also, she cut her thumb it was like 5 days ago, and there were 7 stitches that had to be applied to her thumb. And so I had to leave the Subway, and then she filled out the incident report, and you fill out all the paperwork, the onboarding paperwork, and she will not be returning to that Subway because of your attitude, because of the choices that you made during that moment. I have a right to care for my wife. I have that right. And you will find out how that right will be implemented. And I know you don't want to see that. But you know what? I don't want to see her get hurt. So she will no longer be returning to that Subway. And that Subway is in a lot of trouble right now. So we are aware of what happened. Show the bandage on the thumb. Yeah. 7 stitches on her thumb. His name is, the owner of that Subway in Benbrook, Texas, his name is Dakota. That's his name. His brother's name is Christian, who is from Brooklyn, as in Brooklyn, New York. The lady that knows Dimebag Daryl and Vinnie Paul, her name is Kelly. We sang a song about her because we're a band. Good luck, good night, Good day and Godspeed.
The only time she talked to me is when, well, I heard you call Christian this. I didn't call him that. Where's your rabbit eggs? Put that.
Oh, you can't go back there. You've heard me sing, when I am king, you will be fast against the wall, or first against the wall. And one thing that I am going to do as President of the United States of America is I'm going to put the drug industry, especially illegal drugs, against the wall. I'm going to do everything in my power to destroy it. Everything. All drug dealers, the drugs themselves, and even legal stuff that's pharmaceutical, that's hurting people. That's really priority, because without your health, you have nothing. The most evil people in this world are drug dealers and people that abuse it and push it on others. That's what I'll eliminate. I promise I'll do everything to do that. Starting with protecting our borders and keeping the evil people away. Just because you're a citizen here and you're abusing drugs and dealing drugs, you will no longer become a citizen. Not of my country. I know there's drugs in the White House today. I know Biden has a problem with it, personally. I know Trump has had a problem with it, personally. I know Obama had a problem with it, personally. He wrote about it in a biography. Those men do not need to be president any longer. And whenever they start weaseling their way around to try to gain power, we will put an end to that. We're going to learn a lot about Tuesdays. Tuesdays are a special day. When I woke up on Black Tuesday, what I call 9/11, September 11th, it happened on a Tuesday. Tuesdays are special days. We learn about what power can do to a person on a Tuesday. Power will be adjusted. I'll be a president that'll allow you to have your wife at home taking care of your children. You will be allowed to have your own family, husband and wife. I support that marriage. The man and the woman must procreate to keep life going. I support that marriage. Drugs do not support it. I will end it. I will end the illegal drug dealer. I will find a way to do it. I'll use espionage. I'll use all my ability that I learned at the Actor Studio, method acting. I will find a way to make sure that we have no one dealing illegal drugs, and that we have a way to adjust pharmaceutical drugs so that the pharmaceutical drugs are not killing you either. That means these quack doctors will end. These quack psychologists and psychiatrists, especially the psychiatrist, will end. There will be apps that will be created where you'll be able to report where your nearby drug dealer is located as an illegal drug dealer. You'll be able to smell it, and we will end that. We will find a way. We will go to people's places to talk to them. We'll minister to them. We'll find a way, the right way to end it, but we will not do it with force. We will do it with intelligence, and we'll do it with the pen. Because anything that you do with force, you have to do it over and over and over again. You have to keep doing it over and over and over again. So we'll find a way to be peaceful, and we'll use this thing right here. It's called the pen. Because the pen is mightier than the sword. And now also about the transgender thing. I don't care if you're transgender. You still can't treat people with disrespect. And I was concerned with Linda, and I was basically asked to back away when Linda is hurt pretty badly. 7 stitches is a big deal. And I understand. But at least I'm addressing you as transgender. At least I am addressing the issue. Or whatever it is, the multicultural celebration of transgenderism. It's fine. But you still have to be nice. You still have to be kind. If you're gay, lesbian, transgender, whatever it is, whatever your choice, whatever your sexual orientation is, that's your business, but you have to be kind. And I know people lose their temper. Everybody does. But at least I addressed you, as how you wanted to be addressed. But she will not be returning back to Subway. Because I'm her husband and I have to watch out for her. I think she's had enough of that. The whole knife thing, whatever, it cut her thumb. It's just bad news. But at least I addressed the issue the way that I should. And that's fine. I'm not against you. I'm not going to condemn you. Cross-dressing, I don't think it's condemned, really. It's like an Old Testament thing. It's old, there's a lot of people that do it. I've done it in plays and stuff like that before. I'm not like against that. We even have a song called Drag Sandwich. But the thing is that I was concerned because we have a lot to do today. And I think you accidentally told me that it was only take like 2 minutes to do the paperwork or something. And I guess maybe I was just being impatient. But I did, I avoided the situation. The paperwork was finished. And I responded as respectful as I could in the situations that I'm in. But I'm going to respect the transgender community by addressing them like I would anyone else. Same thing with the homosexual community and lesbian community and everything, gay community. I'm going to address them just like I'd address anybody else. Do they have the right to marry? I'm not going to stop that. I would rather them not try to go after churches. And I know I've been kind of weird about saying something about, if you want to go to church, go to church. But then find a church that will work with you. I have to myself. I'm straight and married. I'm a heterosexual. But I have had trouble with churches myself. But you want to find somewhere where you want to be and where you want to feel welcome. But I don't like all this suing of people for not marrying them, because listen, marrying, you can do that just by asking God, just by asking Jesus Christ to marry you, and he'll work with you. Jesus will work with you if you're transgender, or if you're bi or hetero or whatever, or homosexual. He'll work with you. I am not to say, listen, all I'll say is watch The Well with Brendan Fraser. That shows kind of a downfall of it. But I know that there's functioning couples out there that can function for a certain amount of time, sometimes for a long time. I don't know the whole long time companion thing. I've known about it because I've seen or I've heard of the movie a long time ago in the 90s. And I'm familiar with Angels in America and Tony Kushner. And I know that they've struggled and been persecuted. And I'm not here to persecute. Maybe that's why the situation happened at Subway, so that we could address the issue. So I'm not here to persecute or cast blame. I'm not calling HR. I'm not calling Subway corporate. I don't do that anymore. So I'm not going to call and say, so-and-so told me this. I'm not going to do any of that. But incident or accident report was filled out, and we dealt with that at hand. And those things can happen. But I know that there's deep passion on the transgender community. It happened in Florida at Pulse, at the nightclub Pulse. And I know that it recently happened at a Covenant school with little children. And those are things that will be impossible to understand. And it's happened quite a bit. And it'll be impossible to understand. But I'm not here to persecute. I'm here to understand. And maybe that's why I approached the table and asked how long it would take with the paperwork. Sorry. Didn't know it was such a sensitive issue. But I can tell it's a sensitive issue when I see it. And you have the right to defend yourself. But I have the right to take care of my wife, is all I was concerned with. All right, so we got that out of the way. Now, I also want to talk about, of course, I'm going to have to talk about a hard one, which is immigration. Okay, now listen, the wall will only be torn down. Okay, I hate to have to say this, but it will. The Berlin Wall was torn down. Mexico has beautiful art. The Mexican artist is beautiful. I know a Mexican and Spanish artist. I know a playwright that's a Spanish artist, Latino. Beautiful. Their work is beautiful. They're some of the greatest filmmakers. I don't even really talk about their films a lot. Now, listen, if we seep into the whole Mexico cartel thing and just leave it at that, that's not going to be good. Yeah, they have a problem with it. Trust me, we know that from Sicario, the writer Taylor Sheridan, who wrote about that. But it's not, and we had a problem recently in Matamoros with the kidnapping of American citizens. So it does happen. There is an issue. It does need to be controlled. But we're not going to do it by force. We're going to keep trying, and it'll just be a war that'll never end, just like Vietnam. What we need to do is make friends and realize that Mexico is a beautiful country, and those are beautiful people, beautiful babies, beautiful women, and beautiful grandfathers, and beautiful grandmothers, and beautiful families. We need to celebrate Mexico, and we need, listen, there's some of the hardest workers that we have. And then listen, every Republican will know that they come over here and they work themselves silly and send most of their income back through Western Union to their family so that their family can eat and be protected, not only from the cartel, but from the harshness of Mexico. What we need to do is plant seeds in Mexico to show that we celebrate their culture, we appreciate their culture. There's beautiful bluebonnets right over that way. And that we welcome their culture. And the wall is not a real good sign. But listen, walls get torn down. It happened with the Berlin Wall. We get mad and then we blame the whole country for a few people and a few little small segments that make mistakes. There was a crazy thing that happened with a prisoner, and then it killed a family of 5, and that's horrible. The cartel's evil will never win by taking things by force either. Okay, so we know that that's an issue. We've learned it from Breaking Bad. We've learned it from Taylor Sheridan. We've learned that badness, okay? So, but we have to make friends with Mexico if we're going to progress. Now, the wall is a symbol. It'll probably be up for quite a bit of time. But what I mean to say, and everyone would have to agree with me over nature, walls get torn down. Now, the China Wall is still there, but it's not torn down, but it's remembered, it's walked upon, and it no longer functions as a wall. But it'll stay. The wall will be there, and we'll continue with our militant behavior on both probably ends. But like I said, Mexico is beautiful. The artists there are beautiful. The music is beautiful. It's a beautiful land. Costa Rica is supposed to be the prettiest place ever. So we need to celebrate their culture and plant seeds and say we're here to help. America wants to be friends with Mexico. America does. They want to be friends with all the countries. We want to be everybody's big friend, a friend. So we'll have to learn to do that. But we have to protect ourselves. So we don't want the illegal drugs. We don't want them. We don't want them in our minds. We don't want them in our hearts. We don't want them to be given to our children. We don't want them to be given to our grandparents or our relatives. We don't want them to go around us. Okay, we don't want those drugs. So we have to work on an agreement to be kind. Now, I know they make a lot of money, a lot of quick, fast cash, and Mexico doesn't support that. And I know the cartel makes a lot of money, a lot of quick, fast cash, and that's not good either. So we're going to have to learn to celebrate Mexico's culture and be kind so that they can grow independently as a country, so they can be their own country and build a beautiful country as we've built a beautiful country for ourselves. It's telling me to take a break. Do you understand? So we need to build a beautiful country, and they need to build a beautiful country. We both need to. We both need to do these things, and we can do it through kindness. We can be kind. And drug addiction's wrong. We none of us support that. So that's my issue on that hand. Now we'll move on to another one. Another issue will come at hand. I know we have financial problems that are going on in our own country. We need to not be lovers of money, but we need to be lovers of humanity, not of money. We don't, because if our mind and all our time is fixed on money, then we're going to be in trouble. But we do need to be able to have people to help us manage it, and especially the poor. We need people to help the poor manage and show them how they can flourish. And I think this karma point idea that I came up with yesterday is something that we can look into. Some type of karma points where we can go out and be kind, gain karma points, and then use those to help ourselves and others. Like literally just go out and be kind. We show proof of that and gain karma points. I know it sounds weird, but Hamilton came up with great ideas to spread around the way of buying goods, which is with money. This is a different idea, which everything's going digital anyway. All right? So those are some things to think about too, so that we can progress as a nation and progress as people, and then globally progress throughout the world. These are things we can work on. So that bird there is the bird for Louisville. It's the same bird as the Louisville bird. It's Louisville, basically.